All right, guys. Yes, we are sitting in the floor. Yes, I'm in my pajamas. Yes, it's late. I keep doing these late lives, but it's when I've got time to do it. I've been planting the fall garden today, but I've got something special. Um, and I'm needing some advice from you all. So if anybody wants to help me out with that, I would appreciate it. So, a friend of the family, she's actually a family member, I think she's a distant cousin on my husband's side, brought me 6 bags, grocery bags, of pears. They're not quite ripe yet, but I haven't looked at them really. She brought them to me yesterday, and she left them on my front porch, and I just brought them in last night when we came in. I haven't even looked at them. What I was going to do is split them up by the green ones and ones that are kind of turning the golden color, and kind of split them up like that, and then see what I'm going to do from there. I do think that I want to do some pear preserves. I've not looked into pear preserves. I don't even know how to do pear preserves, but I would like to try to do them. But I'm also open to suggestions. I want to know what everybody else does with pears. This is my first year messing with pears, and so I don't really know. See, that one's got a little more golden color on it. I don't really know. This one's getting soft as well. I don't really know kind of what to do with them. I'm definitely not going to let them go to waste. I'm definitely going to give some bags to people. I've done give some bags away. Probably give a couple more bags away as well to some other people. But I thought it was really sweet of her to contact me and ask me if I wanted any of them, because she said her tree was full, and so I'm thankful for them, and we're not going to let them waste. So I was wanting to know, what do you all suggest to do with pears? What do you all do with pears? I'm kind of checking for softness. If they're more firm, I'm putting them in one thing. I do have a box back here that I'm going to put them in after my little things fill up. And so I'm checking. It's gonna be a good while for me to go through all these, but it'd be totally worth it. So has anybody ever preserved pears? If you have, like I said, I'd be open to suggestions. I'm going through right now and checking pears for those of you that are just hopping on. Name a car from... I don't understand your question. A car. That's the first I've seen of that. Why does everybody do
Ollie, come here.
Hey, how are you, Richie? Mike, I got a question. You ever preserved any pears before? Somebody brought me 6 bags of pears, and so I'm trying to figure out what to do. That one's got a bad spot on it, so I need to set it aside. No, a real car. I think there's a spider behind you. Probably is. I'm not afraid of spiders though, so it's not gonna hurt my feelings any. We are from Kentucky in the United States. We're in the States. I'm in the Appalachian region of Kentucky. Freeze dryer. I do not have a freeze dryer. I do have a dehydrator. I'm thinking about making pear preserves like I would with apples. Hello, how are you? A Honda Civic. I don't know, name a car. Hold on. Mike, or Eric, one of you all, will you all be a moderator for me since you're on here? If you have time. If you don't have time, that's okay. But I'm probably going to be on here about 30 minutes, 40 minutes. If you could, I would appreciate it. I've never had him as Jam. That's interesting. Hold on, I've got... Eric, you will do it? Okay. I'm gonna make you a moderator then. Okay. I'm gonna make you a moderator. You're a moderator now. Thank you. I appreciate it. You need to accept that being fat is okay. That's not very nice. Are you saying I'm fat? I'm gonna go ahead and remove them as well. Okay, Eric. Thank you. People are so rude. All right, so has anybody else ever preserved any pears? Like I said, I got 6 bags. I gave 1 bag away. And so I'm going to have to figure out what to do with all these pears. Hello from Germany. Awesome. Okay. Let me see. Let me see. I'm going to have to block that person because I took their messages off a million times. Do you see them, Eric? Would you ever shave your head bald if you had to donate it to cancer patients' wig? Oh my gosh. It's too much. Thank you, Eric. Thank you. Slayer. Sliced pear chips in the dehydrator. That would be interesting. I've got a pear leaking somewhere. That would be very interesting. Because I don't answer questions that are not relevant to what I'm doing. I don't know, because I don't answer questions of what is your question. I donated to Locks of Love when I was a child as well. But since I have converted over to my beliefs now, we believe that you shouldn't cut your hair. And so I haven't cut my hair in about 9 years. Well, yeah, I haven't cut my hair in about 9 years. We don't trim it or anything like that. So, it's a lot different than like a lot of people believe. Some people believe it's okay. We don't necessarily believe that it's okay. But that's getting off subject. So, but yeah, I don't cut my hair. I haven't cut my hair in 9 years. But when I was growing up, I did donate my hair to Locks of Love. If I was to cut my hair, and like I said, I don't believe in cutting my hair now, I would have a lot to donate, being that my hair is down to my knees. What I'm doing is checking these pears. I'm going to separate them. I've got 2 bins here. Oh, I've got this bin and then this bin. This is the softer pears, the ones that are not as firm. And some of them are kind of turning that golden color on the bottom. I want to separate these from ripe to not so ripe. And so I'm kind of squeezing them and checking them out good to see what's going on. Let me see. Okay. Just making sure I didn't miss any messages. Just checking to feel them. Pears are something that I've never preserved before, and so I don't really know exactly what I'm going to do. And like I said, I wanted to get on here to kind of check suggestions. Mike has suggested pear chips in the dehydrator, jam. I'm definitely planning on doing... has anybody tried pear sauce, like applesauce? That was the very first thing that popped in my head when she said, I'm going to bring you pears. I thought, I'm going to make some applesauce, but like pear sauce. Hi, how are you? And so that is what what was the first thing that hit my head. But I've got a lot of pears here, and so I don't know exactly what. They're keeping you busy tonight, Eric. I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do besides that. But I know he said get him. Thank you so much, Eric. I've got you working double time right now. I appreciate it though. But I'm checking these, and I know it's going to be a while before they're ripe. I'm kind of glad that she picked these where they were green though, because it gives me a little bit more time to kind of figure out what I want to do with them. Obviously, like I said, I've had 6 bags. I've got 5 bags here. I'm going to give some away. I've done asked my mom if she wanted some, and she's like, honey, I don't like pears. So, but we're going to just go through these, and then as they ripen, ooh, that one's kind of lumpy. As they ripen, I will figure out what I want to do with them. I think that they're absolutely beautiful though. Like, look how pretty. You're not going to find a pear like this in the grocery store. We were talking about that the other day with the peppers. Like, you're not going to find a lumpy pear in the grocery store. And that's kind of sad, because since when does food have to look pretty? Since when have we gotten so far from our food that we have to make our food look pretty? I seen a video the other day that people were talking about. It was like a cow or something, and they were talking about like processing the meat, and people were talking about how horrible it was, and how awful it was they were processing meat. And these people were not even like, they were meat eaters, and they were like, do you understand that the meat that you grow in the store has to, like, it has to be processed first? Like, the animal has to pass away in order for you to have the meat that you have in the store. I haven't had a pear in a long time either. You want to know probably the last time I had a pear is they used to like serve pears at like school lunch. Like, you know, they cut up the pear or whatever, and you get like a couple slices of pear. That's probably the last time I've had a pear. But I think that it's super neat that she brought these to me. It's amazing. And so I am super excited. And like, seriously, 6 bags. Her tree must have been like working overtime. I messaged her and she was like, she sent me a picture. I was like, oh my gosh, they're so beautiful. Your tree did so well in the drought. And she was like, I know. She said, but I think what saved me is it was like by a pond. Her tree was by a pond. And so because it was by the pond, it kept it in water. H2O, which is super exciting. So I've got a whole, I went through, I think, 2 bags, and I've done filled one of these totes up, so I'm going to have to put these in a box. I don't have any that's really close to being right so far, so we'll just have to see, we'll have to see how that goes. But, I did a live yesterday, and I kind of want to touch on this, and that's why I went ahead and had Eric be a mod for me. When we get on lives, if you're somebody that comes regular, I want to keep the conversations appropriate. I want to keep things on topic. And I'm not a rude person. I try to be, you know, like, I try to be nice, and I try not to hurt people's feelings, because I don't want to hurt people's feelings, and I don't want to be mean to people. But this is a farm channel, and I want to keep conversations related to farm things. It's okay for other things to you know, to bring up and stuff like that, but I don't want to, like, hear your life story. It's okay to, like, let us know how you're doing and such, and that's okay, but we don't need to fill the whole chat with you know, inappropriate things that are, you know, not relevant to the conversation that we're having, or things that just like get drug out and it becomes something that it shouldn't be. So I just wanted to throw that out. I don't want to stick too far on that. I don't want to be mean or hateful or anything like that. But if you were on yesterday's live, you'll know what I'm talking about. So let's try to keep the conversation appropriate. Speaking of that, I have, I said in the beginning, probably before anybody else got on here, I have been working in the fall garden. I planted spinach, lettuce, radishes, kohlrabi, and beets. I've never planted beets, so it'll be my first time. Wait, meat doesn't grow on a styrofoam wrapped in plastic? You're just figuring this out for the first time, Mike. I hate to be the one to break it to you. I got my fall garden planted. So is anybody else working on their fall garden? And if you are, what do you plant in your fall garden? What is it? Hi, Bob. Let's see what Mr. Ollie. There's Ollie. What are you into? Huh? What is it? He smells so good. He got a bath. And he smells so good. When you have a long-haired dog like this, you have to bathe him all the time. And so he gets a bath once a week, sometimes twice a week, depending on what he gets into. What is it, Bub? But he's so cute. We don't need farms. I just buy my stuff from the store. Yeah, they just pull it out from out back. Didn't you know? We got radishes, spinach, arugula. Listen, I bought arugula seed and I thought that I could plant it in the fall, but when I read the back, it didn't say anything about fall. And so I didn't know if I could plant it in so I can plant arugula. What do you eat? What is arugula? Because really, I don't even know what it is. What is arugula? What does it taste like? How do you cook with it? And can I actually grow it in the fall? You're up north, so I definitely should be able to. Okay. Okay, so that's when I need to plant it. See, it said in the spring, and usually if it says in the spring, you can usually plant it in the fall, but I didn't want to mess up the seeds. It's like spicy lettuce. Interesting. So it would be good in like salad, things like that, fresh salad. What are you chewing on? I think he's got a pear stem. I got weeds, LOL. We have a little greenhouse thing, but we haven't cleaned it out yet. I'm rooting for you, Eric. I know that you all are just going to be... Okay. All right. Awesome. Okay. I'm glad that you said that, because if you wouldn't have said that, I would have thought, well, I don't need to plant it. That one's, I don't know. It's not soft, but it's turning. I don't know. I'll put it in here. So I didn't know that about arugula. I had no clue what it was. Something that I thought I had seed of, but I didn't, was collards, collard greens. And I love collards, but I'm going to have to go pick up some seed for them. But I did get, hopefully I'll get the video edited. I've got 2 videos right now. Which ones would you all rather see? Me tearing the summer garden down or me planting the fall garden? What? Out of the 4 people that are on here right now, I've got 2 videos in the works. Which one would you rather see first? Me tearing the summer garden down or me planting the fall garden? I'll ask you all. Eric said planting. I'm dealing with coyotes right now. Literally 10 deer out back. One coyote just hanging with them. It's ridiculous. Oh, it's so aggravating. So aggravating. We've got our eyes set on some bucks for the fall. Or I will take any of them that's out there. There's right across from our farm, there's a private property. It's another farmer, and out in their yard, they have like a pasture area that they just mow and stuff. Right next to the road, because their house is way off the road, and there's some bucks that I want to get my hands on. You can see them every single night. And so, like, when we're pulling out of the driveway or into the driveway, we can see them at nighttime. And so, I don't care what we get this year. I don't care if it's a spike. I want to get one of those. I want to get one of those over there. It's crazy because the bucks are hanging out, but like at the beginning of the season, or the beginning of the summer, it was one buck. It was a young spike, and then a bunch of does. Well, now it's starting to, the bucks are starting to come in, and so super excited about that. And I'm hoping that we can just go ahead and get one close instead of having to go sit somewhere. Get one close, and that way we can just take it across the road because their property's right across from us. Take it across the road and go ahead and field dress it in our yard and not have to drag it back. That would be completely ideal. Or just because our four-wheeler's down right now. It's been down, and we haven't got it fixed. And so it would be really nice to just do that. Yeah. Yeah, I'm hoping they stick. I'm hoping they stay. I'm hoping they stay. What I'm thinking, though, I don't know, they might not. Because it's been a field, like I said, it's been does and bucks in that field. And at first it was just like a spike and then some does, probably his sisters. And he was just kind of hanging around. He was probably born over there. But of course we got to ask them for permission. I don't think that they're going to tell us no. But we'll ask them for permission, obviously. And then hopefully, if there's some over there, it's just going to be a lot easier, especially when your four-wheeler's down. When the four-wheeler's down, to just be able to just take them right across the road. It's going to be a lot easier than a very long trek back to the truck. So that one's getting close. Look how pretty. Oh my gosh. I can't smell it though. Few nice ones here. I don't hunt though. Maybe one day. We typically don't. Mostly because Andy doesn't like deer meat. I like it. I've said in the past on videos that I don't like it. I don't know why I said that. Maybe I didn't say that. I feel like I did, though. It's just like, I've said we don't like deer meat. I think is what it is. I will eat deer meat. Mostly because I think that I was raised on it more than Andy was, which is odd because, you know, Andy was raised in a family of huntsmen. He's out hunting right now. But I don't know if they really, hunted deer. I don't know if I don't know why. I don't know. I think they hunted everything else but deer. Squirrel is something that we always have when season comes in. Ooh, these are maybe a little bit closer. Squirrel is something that we always have when season's in. And usually there's some in the freezer down at the bottom, freezer burnt or something. So we always have squirrel. But deer is not something that we usually keep. But we do plan to get a deer this year. I don't want to like have a tag for everything. I don't want a buck tag and a doe tag or all that. I mean, I don't need to fill my entire freezer up with deer because we've got rabbit and squirrel for that. But I think I really want to learn how to try to cook it. I think that I love tree chicken. Yeah, we do too. Have you heard the story of that? Did you say that you love tree chicken because you call it tree chicken? Or did you hear the story of us calling it tree chicken? I'm just curious about that because that's what we used to call it when our little girl was little. And she thought that, you know, it was just chicken that lived in the tree. We called it tree chicken. Oh, that's so neat. I've never heard anybody else calling it that. And so that's what we called it so that she would eat it when she was real little. And so that's what we called it. And then my father-in-law slipped one day and we're sitting in the living room eating chicken, our tree chicken, and eating our tree chicken and biscuits and gravy. We fried it up and had biscuits and gravy and maybe eggs with it. And my father-in-law says, "This is the best squirrel I've ever had." And that was it. And she looked at me and she said, "This is squirrel?" And we had to tell her. So that's funny though. I've never heard them called ground grizzlies. She eats squirrel now though. It's not a big thing to her now. It's not a big thing for her to see things processed now. She loves to watch. She loves to watch my husband process fish. Since even when she was real little, she would like sit outside. I don't know why. She would sit outside and she would watch him process fish. She's always just been really fascinated about watching him process fish. And I love that because that's a life skill that she needs to know. And so she's, from a very young age, watched her daddy do it. And I think it's really amazing that she's interested in stuff like that. So out of all of them, I've got an entire box here. Let me see. I don't know if you can see it. Can you all see it? I can't lift it. I've got an entire box, and then, one of these full of pears that are not ripe. And then I've got probably 15 or 20 pears that are close to being ripe. So, that is what we got going on here. I gotta try to get these off the floor though. I've had them in a box, or had them in the bags in the floor, and our puppy thinks that they're balls. And so, she thinks that she can chew on them. I don't know how I'm gonna lift that though. I might have to have my husband help me. But look at all these pears. Now I just gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with them. So Mike said pear chips. He said pear jam. So that's two really good suggestions. Pear chips and pear jam. What else? I want to do maybe pear sauce. What else sounds good? Pear preserves. Have you all ever watched my video on how I did apples? I'll probably do pears the same. Just soak them in sugar overnight. And this bag's ripped. Soak them in sugar overnight. And then, I try to save these bags when I can. I'm making a mess though. Soak them in sugar overnight and then can them the next morning. I spilled that all on the floor. People will see that and think, my gosh, her house is so nasty. She probably wouldn't be wrong, because half the time, at least one room is not clean. Oh. Okay. So we've talked about fall garden. We've talked about our pears. I think that I've covered everything I wanted to cover tonight. Hey Chaz, how are you? I'm separating pears. Cheryl gave me 6 bags of pears, and so I'm separating. None of them are fully ripe yet, so I'm separating the ones that are ripe and ones that are not ripe, and then I'll be preserving them soon. And Mom's doing better. For those of you that I told you there was an issue going on with my mom that she got in a wreck. She is doing better. She had a doctor's appointment today, and she is going to have to do physical therapy. They wanted to put her in a boot, but Oliver, please quit. They wanted to put her in a boot, but she still has severe bruising on her leg. And so the boot was going to rub where they were going to put it on. So she's not going to be able to have a boot for a while. So she's going to have to wear one of those like stockings. And she's going to have to do physical therapy. And they're giving her anywhere between 2 to 6 weeks. That she's still going to have to be off work for recovery. So we'll just have to see. Yeah, Chas, I'm in my PJs. I wasn't going to do a video. A while back ago, I was talking to Mike, who's on here, and he said, well, just start doing lives when you do it. And I was like, well, most evenings I'm in my PJs. Well, I got my PJs tonight, and I was like, you know what? Everybody wears PJs, so I'm just going to get on the live, and it'll be okay. It'll be okay. So I'm in my PJs, sitting in the kitchen floor, doing a live. But I wanted to give that update on Mom, because I know some of you all said that you were, keeping her in your thoughts and prayers. And so she is doing better. She's still not able to drive, and so somebody had to drive her to her appointment today. So we're just gonna have to see how long it takes her to recover. She's just gonna have to I'm just gonna have to wait it out and see, but she's not in as much pain as she has been, and she's been able to just like take her Tylenol. They've been giving her, I don't know what kind of doses of Tylenol, but they've had her on Tylenol, and some pain meds, I think, or just Tylenol. I don't know, but she's been able to go longer without pain medication than she was before. So I count that as a plus. But guys, I said that I was only going to be on here for about 30 minutes. Eric is being my mod, and so he's got to work tomorrow, I'm sure, and it's late. But guys, I appreciate everybody hanging out, and thank you, Eric, so much for being my mod tonight. I appreciate it greatly, and you're all the time just going above and beyond for me, and I appreciate it. I appreciate it, and you did wonderful. So thank you so much. Thank you for everybody that's hopped on. I'll keep you updated on the pairs. We're still gonna have to. This one is getting close, but this is like the closest one. The rest of them are still pretty far to go. Which, like I said, is perfectly okay, because it's going to give me time to get them situated. It's getting about apple time, and so I'll be bringing boxes of apples in here soon too, and we'll have to process all of them and get through them. But that is what's going on. But guys, I appreciate it so much. I just keep gabbering on. Thank you, Chastity. I know that you've been praying for her, and I'm very thankful for that. I'm thankful that she is doing better. For sure, the Lord moved in that, because if not, she probably wouldn't be here. She probably wouldn't be here. She wouldn't be alive. But guys, I appreciate it. Thank you all so much. We'll talk to you later, guys. Bye. Let me hit the button. There we go. See you later. Bye-bye.